So here we are, question 2, paper 2. It is a line question. And this is a question that most students will go for because, oftentimes people will have done coordinate geometry in fifth year. So maybe it'll be in your fifth year summer test. It'll be in your Christmas test of sixth year, your pre-exam. So here we are. And in the month of April, you'll be well ready for this. However, people still often do find them tricky. So hopefully you learn a little bit here. The line 3x plus 4y minus 7 equals 0 is perpendicular to the line ax minus 6y minus 1 equals 0. Find the value of a. All right, so if you don't know what to do what you know. Go off and find the slope. So you can do it in a few ways. This is in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. So you can say the slope is equal to minus a over b. So minus 3 over 4. Or what you can do is you can isolate y. So you get the equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope. So in our case there again, the slope would be minus 3 over 4. So now you have the slope of the first line. So you're going to say the slope of the second line is perpendicular to this one. So you invert and change the signs. So the slope of the perpendicular line will be 4 over 3. So again, same thing here. You can say this is of the form ax plus by plus c equals 0. Slope is minus a over b. So in this case, that actually is minus a over minus 6, which is a over 6. Or you could isolate y. Get the equation in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. And again, the slope is the m. So it's a over 6. So either way, the slope is 4 over 3. So 4 over 3 is equal to a over 6. You're going to multiply across by 6, divide by the 3, and you're going to get a is equal to 8. So there's 10 marks for that question. And that, not rocket science. But at the same time, good few steps to get there. So hopefully everyone got the 10 marks. Now part B is a different, it's a different line again, so it's not the same line. It says 4x minus 5y plus k equals 0. Cuts the x-axis at P and the y-axis at Q. Write down the coordinates of P and Q in terms of K. Okay, so if we put in 0 for y, that'll show us where it crosses the x-axis. So we're going to get k equals, or we're getting x in terms of k, so we get x is equal to minus k over 4. So that'll give us the point for p minus k over 4 comma 0. And then the line cuts the y-axis when x is equal to 0. So we put in 0 for x, and you get y is equal to k over 5. So we have the point for q is 0, k over 5. So 5 marks for that. Everyone know how to do it, but I'm smiling here knowing that a good few of you made a little sign error somewhere along the way. On to the next part, it says the area of the triangle OPQ is 10 units squared, where O is the origin. Find two possible values for K. So we have our 2 points here. We know on page 18 we have the formula for the equation for the area of a triangle. We know that in area and volume, we can say half the base by the height. We know in trigonometry, we can say a half AB sine C. And in coordinate geometry, we could say a half times the modulus of x1 times y2 minus x2 times y1, where we have 1 point at the origin, as we do in this case. So we set it up. We know we're going to use the formula. We're basically going to have a triangle like this if k is less than 0, a triangle like the one on the right if k is greater than 0. So let's find these points. As I said earlier, if you don't know what to do what you know. You say this is your formula for the area. You can say this is x1, y1. You can say this is x2, y2. And so you fill in your formula. You know the area is equal to 10 units squared. So when we multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of the half, we're going to end up with just to kind of do a little bit here for you. You're going to have you're going to have the modulus of minus k squared over 20 equals to 20, multiplying both sides of it by 2. You can do a number of different things in this case, but we know that we're going to have to get the modulus is going to turn this into a positive, because we know that k squared must be positive. The 20 underneath the line is a positive. It's just going to change it into k squared over 20 equals 20. So that the modulus is going to do that. It's going to make the left-hand side positive. You can then multiply both sides by 20 to get k squared equals 400. And then you can say, well, k is equal to plus or minus the square root of 400. It's plus or minus 20. Now that would then allow us to get these points. If we think about it, we'd have p is equal to, so it depends now. So if we take k is equal to 20, we would have p is equal to minus 5 comma 0, and q would be equal to 0 comma 4. So that would be this version here, minus 5 0 0 4. And similarly, if we do it the other way around, if we say, okay, k is equal to minus 20, we're going to have p is equal to 5 0 and q is equal to 0 minus 4. So that would be this version here, 0 minus 4 and 5 0. And in either case, you're going to get the area of 10 square units. Now, here's a strategy for how to improve between now and the actual time of the exam. If you didn't get that right because you were confused about it, do it now, say, using the points, and show that the area is 10 units squared, because then you'll have a better understanding of it. And then you kind of understand, okay, how would I do it now? Now that you've been shown how to do it, could you actually do it yourself? And that's a way to improve once you use your answers to practice it. The last bit then says the point L has an equation 5x minus 3y plus 10 equals 0. And the point K is 6, 2. Show that the perpendicular distance from K to L is root 34. And how many times have I said this before? Sometimes people throw in the towel with a question, but this part here is just a standalone question. So all we're doing is we're on page 19, we're looking at our perpendicular distance formula. So what we're saying is, the distance from a point x1, y1 to the line ax plus by plus c equals 0 is the formula given. So that's just what we're going to use here. And we have everything we need. This is our x1, y1. This is in the form of ax plus by plus c equals 0. So we're going to say our a is 5. Our x1 is 6. So you can see how I'm filling it in here. My a is 5. My x1 is 6. My b is minus 3. My y1 is 2. My c is 10. And I have everything I need. I just fill it in, simplify it down, and I get the answer of root 34. And it was even one that we could see the answer for. So we had, certainly part C there is an easy question, really. And if I was to ask you to reflect on that one, I'd say, did you get that right? Or is there anyone here who tried this question too, but somehow left part C blank because they got bogged down in part B? That's the lesson. You just keep going. You try part C, regardless of how you did in part A and B. And that philosophy of how to do the exam will stand you in good stead for the real thing.